Good day, learner, researcher, and my online friends. Hope you are doing well. Today I have come with a new topic called that how generative AI can be used to develop use cases for the class dissemination. Welcome again. My name is Dr. Govinda Roy. I am going to take you through next few minutes and how to develop use cases for the class demonstration. Let us start today's session. Today I am going to start my session with a case example from literature. So let us start today's discussion agenda. First I will be discussing what is use cases and what are the component of use cases, and for this today's class demonstration I take one character called the Charulata from a Bengali literature, and I will start developing the use cases, and finally I will be discussing what are the ways basically you can develop your use cases in the other area, may it social science, technology and other area, right? So what is use cases? By the way, use cases is basically a methods. That methods is used to identify, clarify and organize the system requirement, and that was very popular in technology and science, but nowadays use cases can be used in social science as well, right? So the example in this class, that how Tagorean thoughts, you know, the Rabindranath Tagore, the noted poet and Nobel laureate from Bengal, right? How that that the Tagorean thoughts can be applied in solving the today's societal problem. Okay, so I will be using generative AI to develop use cases, and for that I need to have one character that already I am going to take that character. So before starting that, let me see what are the few stages, right? So first stages is basically we need to identify what are the systems and user. For our example, we see the Bengali society as a as a system, and user are the Bengali people, right? And second is that environment. Why are you discussing Tagorian thoughts now? Because of digital disruption, it become addiction, but nowadays a lot of social problem arises because of this digital addiction. So we like to see whether the Tagorian thoughts can be used to solve those problems, and that's why our goal is to come with a possible social and technical solution in today's digital age. Before going into the use cases, let us see what are the essential components to be a part in developing use cases. First of all, you need to have a actor involved. You need to identify who are the actor involved in these use cases. In our cases, it is the society, Bengali society, and the people who are living in that society. What is the objective of this case? This objective is basically to how the Tagorean thoughts can be used some societal problem, and again I emphasize this use cases is for the literature students. So why I am discussing, what is the triggering point? Triggering point is basically we call the digital disruption nowadays, we call the digital addiction also in society. So you have to, as an educator, you have to describe the scenario, right? So one by one, and since this is a literature topic, so we don't consider many data and metrics, but if you like to develop use cases for sales, it could be the sales data. But very important thing is the discussion question. So I can use generative AI to develop the discussion question based on the initial information I will be supplying to that one, right? So learning objective, that what you want your student should learn, could be the decision making under uncertainty, or system design thinking, or maybe ethical implication, what they can imbibe from that. And finally, by discussing these use cases in your classes, right, you should come with a conclusion that how organization and society can be responded, and what work and what do not, right? So that's a post discussion reflection you can have. Now let us see one example. This is the Charulata character. It's a very popular movie. This is directed by our Satyajit Ray, and this character is taken from Rabindranath Nostani's Upanyash. I give you the simple background that Charulata is basically very well educated Bengali homemaker, but she is well educated, but she had aspiration, and that was not fulfilled being as a homemaker. So I like to take that. If you see the movie, you see the lot many complexities arising in that movie. So I like to see that how that can be applied in today's society. So I need to come with a very basic prompt to give. So what are the basic prompt I need to give to the GPT? Basically I need to come with a one sample tagline, or maybe the title, the loneliness and aspiration of modern Bengali homemaker. And now when I will be using the generative AI, I need to come with a certain input. I give the input like I ask the GPT, like, consider now Madhura, a 34 years old MA English literature right? Now as a homemaker in South Kolkata. Now I asked the GPT generative AI to relate Madhura with the Charulata and develop a use cases. So rest of the thing we can develop by using the GPT. Let us start the GPT session. So this is my GPT session. Whenever I use the chat GPT free version, so you can use a new chat. This is mentioned the new chat because whenever you try to develop something new, you should start with a new chat. Now I like to give this GPT session certain context. For developing context, I need to have one ready-made, GPT instruction, right? I have a prompt sheet. So my prompt sheet is already developed. Let us see the prompt sheet. So this is the prompt sheet. The four prompt I will be using. First prompt is because we call the write 200 words highlights Rabindranath character Charulata based on Nostonir novel focusing on a critical assessment of scenario, right? So I come to the GPT, put the same thing here, right? And when I press enter, it fetches the data from the online information. So it's developed this online information. You can go through it because this actually taken from the available information there. But I like to give a, I like to create one character and try to relate that character with a Charulata. So I go to my next prompt. Next prompt is basically I am discussing about my the new character. Based on that, I like to develop my use cases. So let us take the new next prompt. I go to the GPT. I put the next prompt now, and here I clearly mention that that's the Madhura is a character I clearly mentioned over there, and I give a prompt like develop a 300 word small story depicting the situation of Charulata in her life, means Madhura's life. So my session is already updated with content that is related to Madhura, and that is again referring back to the Charulata. Now this time has come to develop use cases, right? So now my third prompt comes with the necessary instruction to come with a use cases. So let me see my third prompt. So third prompt is basically we call it, I need to know to give the third prompt, I need to know what are the essential components of GPT. Here you can see it here that I mentioned that come with a suitable title, context, background, Tagore linkage, and everything I need to mention, right? So and especially this is used for the UG students. So let us start this and it will start developing the use cases. So first it will give the title that whatever title you have given, it could be different. It has described the context, then it has given the Tagore linkage, scenario description, challenges, right? And finally it comes with the discussion question. These are very important, and these questions are important to discuss in the class. You can ask a student to come with the discussion questions, right? And you can see the learning objective and optional reading material they have given for the classroom users. Now if I give another prompt, the last prompt, develop a similar use cases for PG students, you see the same content will be again repeated but with little bit of complexities. This time title different, again reflection would be different, and very importantly you can see it here, that the discussion questions, like it's a PG level discussion question, this will be totally changed as compared to the UG level, so that you can give it to for the PhD student as well. But as a subject matter expert, I always request you to go through this use cases and try to have your own reflection into it, whether something should be really part of discussion for the PG or UG students. So that's a very quick demonstration. So let us go to my main PowerPoint presentation that I will be discussing what are the other common guidelines we follow when we like to develop the use cases from the other area. So let us start our basic guidelines for the other area use case development. Now you see that use case that the finally I also generated one images over here. But my last point is in this tutorial is basically how to develop your own use cases. It could be literature, science, or any topical area to explore. So first you should as a expert, right, because you are going to give these use case assignment in your class. So you need to come with a tentative title, right? And there you need to give certain basic backgrounds, and you can also additionally give who are the character you like to involve in these use cases, what is the objective, like what you like to solve by using these use cases, scenario discuss, right? And discussion question, you can give one or two use cases, otherwise generative AI can develop on its own. And finally, you like to see that the final outcome is how the use cases can be used to solving certain societal problem, right? So with this I end today's discussion, and my name is Dr. Govinda Rai. Again, thank you once again to watching this video on my platform Barefoot Researcher, and if really helps you, that would be great pleasure for me, as a great reward for me. Thank you. See you in my next video.